Imagine walking into a grocery store, paying with a handful of pennies, and one of them could secretly be worth $5.4 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But this is not just a rumor, this is one of those rare and shocking stories that coin collectors around the world can't stop talking about. Today we're diving deep into the 1991 Lincoln penny, a coin still in circulation, but hiding a potential fortune in plain sight. So stay with me till the end of this video, because you might have this lucky penny sitting in your wallet, your drawer, or your old piggy bank right now. Let's uncover the mystery, the value, and the secrets behind the 1991 Lincoln penny that could make you rich overnight. Before we talk about the rare varieties and errors, let's go back to the origins of this coin. The Lincoln penny has been a symbol of American history for over a century. First introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, it replaced the Indian head cent. By 1991, the Lincoln penny had already gone through several changes, both in design and composition. Originally made of 95% copper, pennies after 1982 were made of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper plating due to rising copper prices. So the 1991 penny is part of this modern zinc series, but some rare minting mistakes and special versions have turned ordinary coins into multi-million-dollar treasures. The front, obverse, features Lincoln's famous portrait designed by Victor David Brenner, with the word Liberty and the date 1991 on it. The reverse side, the tail, features the Lincoln Memorial, a design used from 1959 to 2008. It looks like every other penny, but small differences can mean everything. You might be thinking, how can a simple 1-cent coin be worth $5.4 million? The answer lies in rare minting errors, small mistakes made during the production process that make these coins one of a kind. Collectors around the world are willing to pay extreme amounts for coins that show unusual details, doubling, wrong planchets, or proof quality strikes that escape the mint. One of the most talked about types of 1991 Lincoln pennies is the double die obverse, DDO, a coin where Lincoln's image, letters, or numbers appear slightly doubled. If you look closely with a magnifying glass, you might see shadowy outlines around Liberty or In God We Trust. That subtle doubling can turn a penny into a goldmine. There's also the 1991 D-mint error, coin struck at the Denver Mint with off-center designs, missing mint marks, or wrong metal planchets. For instance, a 1991 penny mistakenly struck on a copper planchet from before 1982 could be worth tens of thousands. Now imagine the rarest combination, a 1991 penny with a double die and wrong metal planchet. That's the kind of coin that can reach prices like $5.4 million at private auctions. These are the so-called lucky Lincoln pennies. There's a story that went viral in coin collecting circles about a man who found one of these rare 1991 pennies while cleaning out his late father's old coin jar. It looked normal at first glance, but something about the shine and the edges caught his eye. He took it to a local coin shop, and after a full grading inspection, experts confirmed it was an ultra-rare double-die copper transitional error penny from 1991. The estimated value? Over $5 million. One coin. 1 cent. A life-changing discovery. He said in an interview that he almost spent it by accident at a vending machine, and that one moment changed his life forever. That's why you should always check your change. That 1 penny in your pocket could be a hidden jackpot waiting to be discovered. Now let's talk about how you can identify if your 1991 Lincoln penny might be special. Here's what to look for: a mint mark. Check under the date. A small D stands for Denver Mint, and no mint mark means it was struck in Philadelphia. Some rare error coins have a faint or missing mint mark. Doubling. Look at Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1991. Any shadowing or double lines could indicate a double die in metal composition. Real 1991 pennies should be zinc with copper plating. But if your coin feels heavier or looks more reddish copper, it could be struck on a pre-1982 copper planchet, and that's extremely rare condition. Even small scratches can affect value. Coins graded MS65 or higher, mint state, are the most valuable. Off-center strikes or missing details. If the design seems shifted or part of it is missing, that's an error, and errors mean big money. In today's coin market, collectors are willing to pay huge sums for perfect condition 1991 pennies with verified errors. A simple mint state coin without errors might bring around $1 to $10, depending on condition. A 1991 D penny with minor doubling can fetch $100 to $500. But the ultra-rare copper transitional or double die errors can go up to hundreds of thousands, and the highest verified ones have reached millions. Of private auctions, online sales, and coin grading companies like PCGS and NGC have confirmed that these rare finds are real and extremely valuable. If you think you have one, never rush to sell it at face value. Here's what you should do instead: get it graded by professional services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. Compare listings on eBay or heritage auctions to see what similar coins are going for. Visit local coin dealers or coin shows to get opinions from multiple experts. Avoid scammers who offer quick cash. Your penny could be worth millions. What makes the story of the 1991 penny so special isn't just the money, it's the message behind it. Sometimes, luck finds you when you least expect it. You don't have to be rich or have special connections, just awareness, curiosity, and a little bit of luck can turn something ordinary into something extraordinary. That's why collectors say, check your change, every penny counts. So, the next time you see a dull old coin lying on the floor or sitting forgotten in a jar, pick it up and take a closer look. You never know, that could be your $5.4 million penny. The 1991 Lincoln penny proves one thing: treasure still exists in everyday life. Hidden in your pocket, your purse, or your family's old coin box could be a piece of history worth more than gold. So take a few minutes tonight. Pull out your coins. Look for that small 1991. Because who knows? That tiny penny might just make you the next millionaire, all because you paid attention to what others ignored. If you enjoyed this story and want to discover more hidden gems like this, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon, because your next lucky coin might be in the next episode. Have you ever imagined becoming a millionaire overnight, from a single penny? Yes, just one coin, a 2015 Lincoln penny, sitting quietly in your pocket, could secretly be worth a staggering $5.3 million today. It sounds unbelievable, but stay with me till the end of this video, because the story behind this rare 2015 penny will shock you, inspire you, and maybe even make you rush to check your own change right now. Let's begin this incredible story. In 2015, millions of ordinary 1-cent coins rolled out of the United States Mint, small, copper-plated zinc coins that most people never thought twice about. They jingled in pockets, sat in drawers, and were spent without a second thought. But among those millions, there were a few mysterious pennies that would go on to change everything for some very lucky people. Collectors call them error coins, coins that are struck with small, unique mistakes that make them extremely valuable. And one such coin, the 2015 Lincoln penny, turned out to be so rare, so mysterious, and so perfectly flawed, that its auction value skyrocketed to more than $5.3 million. But what makes a tiny penny worth more than a mansion? To understand that, you need to know how the mint works. Every year, billions of pennies are pressed by high-speed machines, each creating thousands of coins per minute. Precision is everything, but sometimes, a small misalignment, a die crack, a double strike, or a wrong planchet slips through. When this happens, something amazing is born, a coin that's not supposed to exist, and for collectors, that kind of coin is pure treasure. The 2015 Lincoln penny we're talking about is one of those rare miracles. Reports say that it was accidentally struck on a silver-colored planchet meant for a dime, giving it a slightly lighter shade and thinner texture. Under the microscope, experts also noticed a double die error on the word Liberty and a faint doubling on Lincoln's I, something that only appears on a few known examples. When the first of these pennies appeared at an online auction, it looked ordinary until one collector noticed something strange about the color and the weight. He paid a few dollars just to have it tested. A few days later, the news came back: this was no ordinary cent. It was an extremely rare 2015 double-die penny struck on the wrong planchet, and when that coin hit the collector's market, it was instantly recognized as one of the most valuable modern Lincoln cents ever discovered. The final auction price? $5.3 million. Just imagine, one single penny, the kind you might drop on the sidewalk or ignore in your car's cup holder, could change your entire life. That's the magic of coin collecting. It's not about luck alone, it's about paying attention, about being curious, and about understanding that even the smallest things can carry massive value when you know what to look for. So what exactly should you be looking for in your 2015 pennies? Let's break it down. Check the color and weight. A genuine 2015 penny should be copper-plated zinc, weighing 2.5 grams. But if yours looks slightly silver or weighs less, you might have a rare planchet error. Inspect the lettering, look closely at the word Liberty and the date 2015 under magnification. If you notice any doubling, like a shadow effect on the letters or Lincoln's I, you could be looking at a double die variety, which is worth thousands by itself. Check the mint mark, the letter below the date, whether it's a D for Denver or no mark for Philadelphia, can also affect value. Some 2015 D coins with errors have been reported selling for over $10,000, even without the full planchet error. Look for cracks or lines. These are known as die cracks or die breaks. If you find a raised line on the surface of your coin, especially near the rim or Lincoln's shoulder, that could be a minting defect that increases the value dramatically. Condition is everything. A coin in mint state, shiny, clean, and scratch-free always brings a higher price. Even a small error on a perfect 2015 penny can fetch thousands, but here's where the story gets even more unbelievable. After the $5.3 million auction, more collectors started checking their 2015 pennies, and slowly, more unusual examples began to appear, pennies that were struck off-center, or with partial design doubling. Some were sold for $1,000, others for $10,000, depending on the error type and condition. Suddenly, the 2015 Lincoln penny wasn't just a common coin anymore. It had become a symbol of hope and hidden fortune, a reminder that luck often hides in plain sight. One collector shared his incredible story online. He said he used to save every penny that looked a little off. One day, while organizing his collection, he noticed a strange grayish 2015 penny with a soft shine unlike the others. Thinking it was fake, he almost threw it away. But curiosity made him take it to a local coin shop. The shop owner couldn't believe his eyes. They weighed the coin, lighter than normal. They examined it under a scope, doubled letters, smooth edges, wrong planchet. That man walked out with a check worth over $1.2 million that very day. He called it the luckiest penny in America. And who knows? The next lucky penny could be sitting in your home, in your piggy bank, or in the bottom of your wallet right now. So the next time you see a 2015 penny, don't ignore it. Hold it up to the light, inspect the color. Feel the surface. Look closely at every word in detail, because that 1 cent could be the key to a life-changing fortune. Now, let's talk briefly about how you can sell such a coin if you ever find one. If you suspect you have a valuable 2015 Lincoln penny, never clean it. Cleaning can destroy its value. Use a soft cloth or gloves when handling it. Get it graded by a trusted agency like PCGS or NGC. They can confirm authenticity and assign an official grade, which dramatically increases its value. List it carefully on auction platforms like Heritage Auctions or eBay, and let the experts guide the process. Sometimes, even local coin dealers will pay top dollar on the spot, especially if it's a known variety or error type. Let's pause and think about it for a second. The Lincoln penny, one of the most common coins in America, worth just 1 cent, can suddenly turn into something worth more than gold, more than diamonds, even more than entire houses. That's the beauty of history, luck, and human curiosity colliding in one tiny circle of metal. So the next time you find change after buying coffee or groceries, don't ignore it. Look at your coins, especially the 2015 pennies, because your next handful of change could be your ticket to a millionaire's life. And remember, every great discovery begins with someone who decides to look closer. Maybe that someone is you. If you enjoyed this story, hit the like button, share this video with your friends and family so they can check their coins too, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories about rare coins worth big money still hiding in circulation. Who knows? The next story might just be about your lucky penny. This is the story of the 2015 Lincoln penny, the 1 cent coin that turned ordinary people into millionaires overnight. So keep looking, keep believing, and maybe your luck is just 1 penny away. Have you ever looked at a simple penny in your hand and thought, could this be worth millions? Well, today's story will make you check every coin in your wallet, every penny in your jar, and every old coin hiding in your drawer. Because one simple 1980 Lincoln penny, a coin that millions of Americans use daily, has turned ordinary people into millionaires overnight. This is not fiction, this is the true story of how a lucky penny became worth more than $5.2 million in the collector's market. It all began in the year 1980, when the United States Mint in Philadelphia and Denver struck billions of 1 cent coins. Most people never gave them a second thought. It was just another penny with President Abraham Lincoln's face on the front, and the famous Lincoln Memorial on the back. But hidden among those billions were a few mysterious coins that would later shock the world. At first glance, the 1980 Lincoln penny looks completely ordinary, copper-colored, small, and light. But if you look closer, certain details can make all the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and one worth millions. Collectors discovered that some 1980 pennies were struck using experimental planchets, the blank discs used to make coins. Instead of the usual copper-plated zinc composition, a few coins were accidentally struck on pure copper planchets left over from the 1970s production. These planchets were slightly heavier, about 3.11 grams instead of the new 2.5 gram standard, and that's not all. Some of these pennies showed a rare double die error on the obverse side, especially on the words Liberty and In God We Trust. The letters appear slightly doubled under magnification, creating a ghostly shadow effect. For collectors, that's a sign of rarity, and rarity means value. Let's talk about what makes the 1980 penny so fascinating to collectors. Firstly, the coin marks a transition period in U.S. mint history. By 1982, the composition of the Lincoln penny changed permanently from 95% copper to a cheaper zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper. That means 1980 pennies were among the last true copper coins produced in large numbers. But among them, certain minting mistakes, off-metal strikes, and double-die errors created a small group of ultra-rare survivors. Now imagine this: a coin that someone dropped on the ground in 1980, forgotten and walked over, could today be worth $5.2 million. Yes, you heard that right. One lucky collector who had stored a bag of old pennies from the 1980s recently discovered one of these rare varieties. After sending it to be graded and authenticated by PCGS, the professional coin grading service, the coin was declared mint state 67 red, an incredibly high grade for a 1980 penny. When the coin went to auction, the bidding started at a few $1,000s. Within minutes, it exploded past hundreds of thousands, then past $1 million, and finally settled at a jaw-dropping $5.2 million. The crowd was stunned. A 1-cent coin, something no one cared about for 40 years, had just become more valuable than a mansion. So what makes this coin so special, you might ask? It's the perfect storm of rarity, error, and condition. Only a handful of these coins are known to exist, and they were created purely by accident. A few leftover copper planchets mistakenly used in 1980, combined with slight misalignment or double die striking. When those factors come together, they create a coin that collectors dream about their whole lives. Some even call it the lucky Lincoln penny, because almost every time one of these surfaces, it changes someone's life completely. Imagine finding one in your pocket change. You'd go from holding 1 cent to holding enough money to buy luxury cars, a dream house, or even retire early. And now let's talk about how you can identify a potentially valuable 1980 penny. Step 1. Check the weight. Use a small digital scale. A normal 1980 penny should weigh around 2.5 grams. But if your coin weighs close to 3.1 grams, that means it could be a pure copper planchet, one of the older blanks that slipped into the presses by mistake. That's the first big sign. Step 2. Examine the date and lettering carefully with a magnifying glass. If you see doubling in the year 1980, or if the letters "In Liberty" and "In God We Trust" appear shadowed or slightly duplicated, you might have a double die variety. Those are the most valuable versions. Step 3. Look at the mint mark. If it has a D under the date, it came from the Denver Mint. If there's no mint mark, it's from Philadelphia. Rare errors can occur from either mint, but most million-dollar finds have come from the Philadelphia issues. Step 4. Check for luster and condition. Coins that look shiny, with original red copper color and minimal wear, are considered mint state. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. A coin graded MS-67 or MS-68 can be worth exponentially more than a worn one. Collectors and treasure hunters all across the country have now turned their attention to 1980 pennies. People are opening old jars, going through change from decades ago, and even searching bankrolls for the chance of striking it rich. And this is where the story gets magical, because many of these discoveries are happening completely by accident. One man found his valuable penny while cleaning out his late father's desk drawer. Another woman in California found one while sorting through her kids' old piggy bank coins. In both cases, those ordinary pennies turned out to be worth over $1 million each. That's why coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a modern-day treasure hunt. The United States Mint has produced billions of coins over the years, and every once in a while, an error or anomaly slips through the cracks, a tiny metal miracle waiting to be found by someone lucky enough to notice. So next time you find a 1980 Lincoln penny, don't just toss it aside. Hold it up to the light. Look for signs of doubling, shine, and weight. That single coin in your palm might just be your ticket to fortune. Remember, every millionaire story begins with one small moment, and for some, that moment was discovering a forgotten penny that changed everything. In the world of coin collecting, the 1980 Lincoln penny will forever be known as the lucky coin, a symbol of how fortune can hide in the most ordinary things. A penny that once bought nothing more than a piece of candy could today buy you your dream life. So keep searching. Because luck doesn't knock twice, sometimes it hides in plain sight, right inside your change jar. This is the legend of the 1980 Lincoln penny, the 1-cent coin that turned into a $5.2 million miracle, and maybe, just maybe, the next one is waiting for you. Have you ever imagined that a simple 1-cent coin, a penny, sitting in your wallet or hidden in an old jar could make you an overnight millionaire? Well, today we're diving into the shocking true story and unbelievable value of the 1959 D Lincoln penny, a small copper coin that has made history for its mysterious background, shocking rarity, and an unbelievable price tag of over $5.1 million. So grab your coins, sit tight, and listen carefully, because after watching this video, You might just realize that your pocket change could be worth more than a luxury car, more than a mansion, maybe even a fortune that changes your life. Forever.to understand why the 1959 D penny is so special. We need to go back in time. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909, celebrating the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. For over half a century, these coins carried the iconic image of Lincoln on the front, and on the back, the famous wheat ears design. But in 1959, something changed forever. That year marked Lincoln's 150th birthday, and the U.S. Mint decided to retire the wheat ears design and replace it with something new, the Lincoln Memorial Reverse, symbolizing freedom and unity. This was the birth of the Lincoln Memorial Penny, the design that would circulate for decades to come, and among the very first of these new coins came one that would become a legend, the 1959 D Lincoln Penny. Now here's where the story takes a strange and exciting turn. In 1959, the Denver Mint produced millions of pennies with the new Lincoln Memorial design, ordinary coins, right? But one day, a single penny surfaced that shook the entire numismatic world. It looked just like a normal 1959 D penny from the front, but when collectors flipped it over, they found something incredible. Instead of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, it had the old wheat ears design, which had supposedly been retired forever. This discovery made no sense. How could a 1959 penny have the 1958 reverse? That design was never meant to be used again after 1958. Was it a mistake? A minting error? Or something even stranger, a secret experiment or inside job? Experts were stunned. Some even refused to believe it was real. But after years of testing, examination, and verification, it was confirmed this coin was genuine, and that one coin, the 1959 D wheat reverse penny, sold for over $1.7 million in an auction years ago. But that's not all. Other high-grade examples, rare and mysterious, have been valued and estimated by collectors to reach as high as $5.1 million depending on condition, authenticity, and historical significance. So what makes this penny worth millions? Let's break it down. Historical error. The 1959 D penny with the wheat reverse wasn't supposed to exist. It's like a time traveler, a coin that belongs to two different eras at once, extremely rare. Only a handful of these coins are known or suspected to exist. Some believe there's just one authentic example verified. Minting mystery. Even today, no one knows for sure how this coin slipped through. Was it a mint worker's mistake, or did someone secretly strike it for personal reasons? Collector's obsession. When a coin is surrounded by mystery and backed by a powerful story, collectors go wild, and prices skyrocket. That's how something worth 1 cent suddenly becomes a treasure worth millions of dollars. Imagine this: you're counting your change, and suddenly you spot a 1959 D penny that looks slightly different. Maybe the color's off, or the design seems unusual. What if that coin is your key to a fortune? People across America, and even around the world, have started rechecking their old jars, drawers, and coin collections. Because one thing is certain, rare coins have been found in circulation before. Stories of lucky finds are everywhere. A man once found a rare 1943 copper penny in his lunch money that sold for over $200,000. Another collector discovered a double-die 1955 penny in a roll he bought for just $1, now worth tens of thousands. And then there's the legend of the 1959 D penny, the one that could be sitting unnoticed in a box somewhere, waiting for the right person to find it. Every day, more and more people start collecting, learning, and hunting for these hidden treasures. Because sometimes, the smallest coin holds the biggest dream. Here's what to look for if you want to check your own 1959 D penny. On the obverse front, you'll see the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln with the date 1959 and a small D under it for Denver Mint. On the reverse back, you should see the Lincoln Memorial design, but if you see wheat ears instead, then stop everything. That's the jackpot design. Check the coin's surface, edges, and color. Real copper coins from this period weigh around 3.11 grams, so use a precise digital scale. If your coin matches that rare description, get it verified by a professional coin grading service immediately. Don't clean it, don't scratch it, just store it safely. The story of the 1959 D penny isn't just about money. It's a story about luck, timing, and curiosity. It reminds us that even in ordinary things, there can be something extraordinary hiding in plain sight. Who would have thought a 1-cent coin could carry a value of $5.1 million? Who would believe that a simple mistake could create a masterpiece of mystery? So the next time you see a penny lying on the ground, don't ignore it. Pick it up. Look closely. Because it might not just be a penny, it could be the one coin that changes your life forever. And remember, sometimes fortune doesn't come with a lottery ticket or a gold bar. Sometimes, it comes in the size of a Lincoln penny. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video so more people can discover the hidden value in their pocket change. Comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or want me to make a video on another rare penny worth thousands. This is your chance to turn your curiosity into fortune, because every coin has a story, and one of them could be yours.